Hey, primates, links to the video we react to today are in the description below. Also be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as hit the little bell to be notified whenever we go live or put out new content. It really helps us out. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.
So if you don't know what a VTuber is, chances are...
Okay. Following that video, what a great segue. What a great, absolutely amazing segue, let's just say. Freaking A. Royalty is Here is one of my most recently found, newest favorite VTubers on the platform. The guy has an amazing way of talking, great voice acting, or voiceover, I should say. And he made a video called The Problem with VTubers, and I'm like, oh great. I just, immediately I find someone new where I'm like, oh, what a great YouTuber. And then the first video that pops up next is like, VTubers, and I'm like, oh, amazing! Freaking A. Alright, let's see what he has to say, though. Dude's actually really legit. I love him. He's great. Let's see if I don't end up eating my words by the end of this.
So if you don't know what a VTuber is, chances are you've never touched an anime in your life. I
don't know what a VTuber is. No idea. They're scary. They intimidate me. I do watch hentai, though. I don't know what anime is.
Explain to your parents why an anime girl's breasts are shooting armor-piercing 16-inch shells, fully well knowing your luck had run out and this was the only scene in the entire anime to have such a depraved act. And the usual episodes are like Animal Crossing. Or maybe you just haven't come across the many fan accounts uploading videos.
Oh, there's a lot of VTuber clippers out there. Like, they clip videos and stuff, which, by the way, y'all can use all of my content. I don't care. As always, I've said this many times before, but in general, not that I have any good content for you to use, but you know, it honestly does, like, I feel like it is a great part of the ecosystem. The clippers and reaction here, like, it's a good part of the ecosystem. I love it.
Of their favorite VTuber saying the most out of context, explicit dialogue.
I don't do that often enough. I don't have a lot of out of context moments because I'm so freaking protective of what I say on the stream. Must give belly rubs to the femdog.
Or it's a clip of their VTuber showing off body parts of their 3D model.
I feel like it's been a while since I really showed off the thighs. Go ahead, give me all the rubs you can manage.
Like their feet. Yes, they exist.
I don't really rub the thighs of my dogs typically. Just saying.
Could be worse. You could be French.
French.
I mean, most VTubers doing that are indie VTubers anyway. And there are only two
types. What's the deal with that? I love the French. I love French people. I love French food. I like the French people. Look, I'm just saying. I don't care where I am. Even if I'm in France, if I'm in Korea, wherever the frick, if you try to serve me snails, or I'll do you one better. If you try to serve me raw beef with spices and seasoning, I'm out. I don't care. You're not giving me no raw beef. Forget the snails. I might actually try a snail depending on how you prepare it. Frick.
Types of VTubers. You have the agency VTubers who are backed by an agency and a bigger company.
Gura! I love Gura so much. Gura, all-time, one of the top favorites. Mori Calliope, freaking one of the all-time favorites. You already know all my favorites. Let's freaking go. I need to make
you have indie VTubers who are not held back by an agency and their rules and can say whatever they want and do whatever they want. Yes, and I mean whatever they want. But what are VTubers in general? Well, a VTuber is basically a 2D or 3D model controlled by a person, controlled by people using facial recognition to control said model and its gestures.
I do that. I can do that too.
Before you get your hopes up, none of them probably actually look like their VTuber model. Just have to.
No, not at all. I wanted to make sure I don't look like my VTuber model whatsoever. I wanted it to be a character similar to, like, because like I've always wanted to be a voice actor, so I wanted to make sure that mine was super cartoony. If anything, I wanted my model to look. The more my model can look like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, the better it is. I want this model to look like as much like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker as possible, because I freaking love that animation style so much. In fact, it's one of the reasons why my eyeballs look the way that they do. Sorry, I'm just making my my Twitch panel here larger. I like it better like this. And like one of the reasons why I actually do Perfect. Sorry, I forgot that I'm not doing YouTube today, so I can have a ginormous Twitch chat now. Anyway, I was saying, so yeah, like one of the major things, personally, like the reason. So what was I saying? Oh no, the reason why my eyeballs are like this is because it reminds me of the when you chuck a bomb. In Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, you get the like swirly smoke, which is awesome, dude, and I loved it, and I wanted to keep that on my model. Anyway, I'll play.
To say that, some of you probably pitched a tent already, but most VTubers like the ones in agencies, you will never ever see their face. And don't worry, it's not because they're an
I'm like Bibu. I'm like Bibu from if you know Bibu, you know what I'm talking about. Dude, we're always rock hard. Let's go.
ugly homunculus and on the same levels as weeping
Hey,
angels.
you guys!
Probably not. Probably.
Dude,
It's because they're under a contract to not do certain things. And depending on the agency you've chose to be a VTuber for, it's either like you're a piece of meat in a sweatshop, or you actually have a decent company you're working for. But the advantage of being in an agency is kind of like instant success. They will take care of your schedule, what games you'll be playing, what other VTubers or people you'll be interacting with, most of your channel management and social media management, and a platform to follow.
Again, the biggest positive that I've seen, honestly, from agencies are like the social media stuff, because I'm really bad at it. And the amazing collaborations that you can do. It's freaking phenomenal. I love it all.
Feed your opinion into
Sorry,
the
I know
mouths
I'm
of
leaning
many,
back on my chair.
but they
This
also
is actually
take
me
care of
leaning
your
back on my chair.
debut,
I'm
which
not,
both
like, my
indie
model's,
and
like, not
agency
off.
VTubers
See, I can just
have
keep
to
leaning
do.
back on my
It's
chair.
basically where the fans of that agency that has all these amazing VTubers gets to know you, and the character you're displaying, and along with other details like your backstory, your age, your height, your butthole size, how many raccoons.
Backstory and lore. So my name is Ozomatli, Oz. This is all gonna be in the debut. I am writing down stuff like this actually for the debut. My age is 28. I've said that many times. My height, I think IRL is like, what is it, 5'6", 5'6", 5'7", depending on what pair of shoes I'm wearing. And my backstory lore is basically I am OzDaMonke. I am the spirit companion of Chichipili, the Aztec god. I am the spirit companion known as Ozomatli. Though the actual Ozomatli is a spider monkey, I decided to go with a pygmy monkey because I think pygmy monkeys are cute and adorable and tiny. And so I love it.
Raccoons can fit there. And yes,
I can
most
fit at
VTubers
least
have
12 raccoons
lore,
up my bum.
not like on the level of Lord
At
of the
least
Rings.
12!
Kind of like Naruto if you took out
I wasn't
all
brave
the
enough to
filler.
go for the
Like
13th.
popular
I said,
VTuber
you know what, a
Gura
baker's dozen is
Gura
just too
is a
much.
descendant of the lost city of Atlantis and is over 9,000 years old. 9,000 years old. And you want to know why her tail looks like that? Well, she got stuck in a ravine and had a bunch of rocks fall on her and she had to wiggle out. And I will tell you that is the most simplest and wholesome VTuber lore. The rest of
You're not wrong. Well, no, Girl DM is like an AI. That's her VTuber lore.
an emo kid's fantasy. But agencies will mostly take care of you until you graduate. No, not the peak Kanye West album.
Good morning.
Graduation is for VTubers that either want to leave their agency, want to quit their job, don't want to be a VTuber anymore, or you've been a very, very bad VTuber. Because graduation is basically where they take your VTuber round back and fill it full of 12 gauge. And then bury the body to the point where no one will ever find it again. Because especially if you're with a VTuber agency, you will never be able to use that model again, not even reference it or speak.
Yeah, that's also the biggest thing. I cannot, in my I cannot, for the life of me, ever imagine a world where I lose my VTuber model. Like, flat out. Now, if a VTuber agency wanted me to, like, part-time VTube agent, like, for them, and then I could part-time VTuber indie for me, that'd be awesome. Or if I could just keep my model no matter what. But otherwise, you know, and just, like, not, if I just wouldn't use it, I'd save my monkey model, but yeah.
To any of your other VTuber friends that are in the same agency. And you lose your platform and you basically have to start again. Because the agency owned all of that. And most of the time these agencies won't even let you shout out your new channel if you're
that's literally what happened to Doki Bird, except the agency really does not like her.
Leaving. So you have to build yourself back up where most indie VTubers start. But the biggest reason why most people would be an indie VTuber is one you have.
And look, sorry, what a place to pause. Let's just pause it here. It's fine. This is a nice place to pause it. You gotta understand something as well about the VTuber community, and it's one of the things that I've noticed a lot, and it's actively happening. It's actively happening to me. It's actively happening to other VTubers. I've seen it, like, full blown. There's a distinction between, like, if you are, I'm just gonna say it the easiest way to interpolate here. If you are a female VTuber, chances are you're gonna get a huge audience a lot faster than a male VTuber. You are. Point blank, that's just the facts. I'm hitting you with the hard, me and the boys here just hitting you with the hard life facts. You're gonna get a lot of dudes. Like, at least this many dudes, all coming after you. However, the quality of that community might not be to what you think it is. It is a lot of simps. I've noticed that even though the male VTubers tend to have smaller communities, they're a lot more personal. They're a lot more intimate. They're a lot more one-on-one, or they're a lot more, I don't want to say dedicated or loyal, but because those just aren't the words that like, they don't fit quite what I'm trying to say here. I guess I don't know what word I'm looking for. There's a word I'm looking for. I can't find it. I'm just distracted by this amazing scene behind me. But the point is, for example, fulfilling. You tend to have a lot more of a fulfilling community because they tend to be a little bit less simpy towards you, and they tend to actually be interested either in the entertainment value you're bringing or the content that you are showing, or the gameplay because you're good at it, or whatever the frick, like whatever the case may be. And of course, this is not every single scenario. In no way is this every single scenario. There are very, very many VTubers out there that have subverted that expectation from me. Mitmai is a good example. Reiko Star is a good example too. That like where their communities are pretty well involved. Involved is another great word for it. I should have used earlier. My community is quite involved for being such a small community of people. I constantly have people in my chat to talk with, communicate. And I've even collaborated with some of them, which is freaking awesome. And I want to start collaborating with a lot more people too.
Have to audition to join an agency and basically land the role of the VTuber they have.
I accidentally messed up my audition to TKO. So for those who don't know, Buff Pup is a VTuber with Asmongols, the Asmonglers agency, and I submitted my own let's say application, and accidentally didn't attach my resume. So basically, as far as they're concerned, they just got a message about this like VTuber who's like, "Hey guys, I may only have 200 subscribers, but I'm an amazing voice actor," and blah, 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 and then nothing else attached. So they were just, who the frick is this nerd? They probably just skipped right over my
designed for you.
Oh,
2,
well,
there is no
Cinder!
profit sharing. Meaning if I donate to a VTuber on YouTube, which I would never do, a majority of the time YouTube takes their 30%, and the agency may take more. So by the time my money gets to that VTuber, it's probably mere pennies.
that's from the Jack and the
Third, most
Beanstalk
VTubers
episode
under
of
an agency
movie.
have to act a certain way,
People,
often taking up an entirely
always rock
different
hard,
persona from
baby!
their own, and often can't convey their actual feelings towards their
I
chat.
love Natsuki's community names too. She got the Dragoons. We're so far right now, we are in between Monodachis or Prime Apes. And so far, you guys like Prime Apes better. So we're gonna steal Prime, the word Prime Apes from Logan Paul. Logan Paul, Prime is ours now.
So they can't just say, everyone watching this video has unwashed foreskin, because they're under a contract and are employed by this agency. And most of them don't want to get graduated if they did. So a lot of them have to act like they like you. Kind of like that time the popular...
I gotta specify one thing though. Natsuki was not graduated. So a graduation is basically leaving the agency on good terms. They were flat out fired. Or they fluked out.
Just gonna let that one
I don't
simmer.
know if fluked out is a thing, I just made that up. But,
Did that bring up past trauma? Good.
Graduation
Which is why most people
only...
opt to be indie VTubers, because
Donkey Bird! Yeah, so, love Donkey Bird. Go and give her some support, my dudes. Absolutely deserves it. But yeah, no, that she was not graduated. She full on got fired, and they wanted to make that a big deal. Niji-Sanji made that a big deal because it effectively creates this like dynamic of she did the wrongdoing, you know?
a lot more freedom. Some of these VTuber agencies can be absolute hell. But most indie VTubers have to take care of their own reputation, own brand, their own damage control and rapport with fans, which has led to some terrible cases with indie VTubers, but we'll get...
You're not wrong. I'm sorry, not the best of examples there. You get me?
Most indie VTubers have to take care of their own reputation, own brand, their own damage control, and rapport with fans. Which
I
is
have
like
to admit, I'm sorry. Not the best of examples, but this happened because Twitch said that artistic nudity was allowed, but then they never specified that that you can't have art that is nude. You get what I'm saying? Like they never specified that. They just said artistic nudity is now allowed on Twitch as a way to defend the bikini streamers and like the body painters, like that paint their boobas live on stream. Yeah, that's a whole thing you could absolutely do.
led to some terrible cases with indie VTubers,
But they didn't
we'll
make
get
the
into
same
some of these
exception for
terrible
VTubers.
companies and terrible VTubers later. But I have a confession to make. I have a favourite VTuber. Whilst I'm not part of the VTuber community, I actually do have a VTuber I quite like, and I'm gonna give
Bro, who's the VTuber he likes? Buff Pup. You seem like a muscle mommy kind of guy to me.
you a sec to guess who it is, so I can ridicule you for getting it wrong, because in all
No. Either that or, what's that one? Amelia. Right? The Sherlock Holmes VTuber? Calling it.
all honesty, a majority of people are gonna get it wrong.
And you may be subject to, oh, good lord! I didn't know! I was just guessing! I wasn't sure! Dude, if he straight up said Ozomatli, because I have reacted to him before, I would lose it. I would lose it right now. You have no idea, bro. I would lose it. I'd tweet about it. I'd post up this video 2 days after this morning stream. You have no idea. You have no idea how freaking wild I would announce it to the world. I'd scream it from the rooftops. Oh, dude, at the moment, I'm waiting, bro. No, but I think it's Amelia Watson. I'm gonna guess Amelia Watson.
You submitted your answer? You dum-dum. My favourite
submitted a
VTuber
couple.
is Rin Penrose.
I freaking would have. Okay, all right. I can see the crown. The crown. Okay, got it. All right. Okay.
Okay, fine. I'll admit it. I do have a tendency to complain a lot. Yeah,
Look, I went with British. Okay, for the same reason. Because British people don't like Americans. I don't know why. They got a real bad thing. I don't know why. It's almost as if we were revolted against them or something. That's weird.
help.
I honestly can't wait to ridicule you for getting it wrong. Anyway, I know what you're thinking. It's not because they're a British VTuber.
No, it's 100% because
Okay,
of that.
Actually, it's because they're British. You colonies would not
Called it. I knew. What
wait
did I
to
say?
ridicule you
What
for
did I
getting
say?
it wrong.
What did I just
Anyway,
freaking say?
I know what you're thinking. It's not because they're a British VTuber. Okay, partially it's because they're British. You colonies would not understand. We have to keep the British monarchy going. But I actually quite
You colonies don't seem to understand. What is with the America hate? Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be real with y'all here. I'm actually technically a citizen of Mexico and of the U.S. I got dual citizenship. Dual citizenship. But so I could go either or. You get me? I'm not saying nothing. I have no belongings to nobody. I belong to Super Earth. Okay.
like them because they actually sound like a British person, not an aristocratic asshole, or an obnoxious fentanyl-filled caveman like the majority of Manchester.
Okay, but to be fair though, he's just putting Manchester under the bus. I was gonna say, like, admittedly, she has a very posh British accent compared to other British accents. Like, Gavin Free has a very unposh British accent. She has a pretty posh one. Time to cancel this YouTuber on Twitter for saying his favorite VTuber is...
Or decimated by the concept of an American
cancel?
thinking
Wait, what's wrong with me?
what a British person sounds like.
Why
No,
did-
they are
y'all,
quite
y'all
literally
always
your
say that I'm gonna
average
be canceled
Brit.
for something.
Probably
Like,
have
y'all just
jagged
waiting
teeth,
for my
though.
downfall.
Found out the
With friends like these, you know?
I also got into the VTuber community because I have a friend that's a VTuber. Take a
Oh,
look
cool.
at this femboy. There are also male VTubers, by the way. They're not as popular as
Tell you, every male VTuber is a thirst trap. Every single one.
the female counterparts, but there's also femboy VTubers.
What'd I
if that's
say?
up your street.
What'd I say?
But just a heads up, they are
It's like a dude.
significant.
It's like a what do you call a that basically is like
There
a
are
guy
also
lolly.
male VTubers, by the way. They're not as popular as the female counterparts, but there's also femboy VTubers. If that's up your street. But just a heads up, they are significantly more explicit than any other type of VTuber.
You stop, like,
Where's all my tomboy VTubers?
squeezing my ass as, like, a stress ball.
But VTubers can be found from anywhere from TikToks to YouTube Shorts to YouTube in general and the Twitch platform. A majority of them stream and upload short-form content, which is how I found Rin.
Bro, I gotta get my short-form content game up. I have been so bad about it. And you know what the problem is that it's just the way I organize my schedule. It's the way I organize myself. But now that I'm doing, like, double the streams, triple the content on YouTube, I gotta do it. Like, I'm gonna do it. Like, literally, as soon as I'm done streaming, from now on, the morning stream, I'm gonna start putting shorts up. Like, I'm not gonna stop, even while I'm on break. It has to.
I found
And then
them on
immediately
YouTube Shorts,
after 10
which is-
o'clock, after 12 hours of streaming, I start editing.
the platform that is slowly withering my brain away. But in VTuber terminology, although I don't know that much about the
I
community,
pretty much edit, like, literally, this whole week, right? So it's not like, it hasn't been like this for a minute. This whole week, starting Monday, wake up at 9, poop, eat some breakfast. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I didn't take my medicine today. This morning! Take my medicine. Start the stream. Then we take the break at 4 hours later. Which is around the time where I go and grab myself some either lunch or a snack, something, or just stretch. You know, I normally shower, actually. I'll be completely honest. This whole week I've just been showering because I don't have enough time at night. So I just shower in between streams. Then I go pick up my siblings from school, get back here around like 4:40, start the 5 o'clock stream, and I go for about 5 hours till 10, or more, depending on the day or the night. And then I pretty much just edit until like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then I pretty much just sleep and start the whole thing again. You should post thirst traps of Banana on Twitter. It might get you more attract. Oh, it 100% will. But like I said, I'm working on an AI voice changer. It's not fair though, because like the only good voice AI packs that I have is one of Mori Calliope. So I don't want to use her voice, like using an AI to make like that. That seems messed up. If I do end up using it, it's gonna have to be heavily modified, so it's not her voice anymore. But I do love, like, one of the biggest things, like, I gotta tell y'all something, I'll be honest. I have a large attraction. And I do mean in, like, a relation, like love, like, attraction, like, actual genuine attraction to unique voices. I really do. If a woman has a unique voice, I find that incredibly attractive. Some situations that would include stuff like that is, for example, Calliope Mori has kind of a raspy voice, a little bit. I find that to be incredibly attractive. I cannot lie to you. I do. I don't know why. It's a weird thing of mine. But when a woman has like either a very cutesy voice or like just a unique voice, something that like makes it a little bit different than your normal average voice, I don't know why I find that incredibly attractive or interesting. Maybe it's the high, like, again, I have a high interest in voice acting, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Tara Strong? I have such a crush on Tara Strong, purely because she's able to do so many unique voices. And you get what I'm saying?
Community, they would be considered my Urshi, which means to push your VTuber in ways of support. But me being a narcissist, I'd probably push them off a cliff.
You're right. I should post up thirst traps of Banana on Twitter. That's one of the reasons why I want to start I want to commission artwork, like fan art, but I don't got the monies for it, so I'm just not gonna do that. But I heard about a website where a bunch of I think it was someone was we saw a video when we were checking out the whole situation with the Tiger VTuber guy. There's a website from like Japan where you could just like basically put a little bounty board of like, very cheap bounty boards of like, hey, here's the thing, make the artwork. They're just like, there's no way to like tell them what you want. You just give them the character and they'll make artwork for like a very low price. I might try that. It's like a Japanese board. It's pretty cool.
What are these terrible agencies and terrible VTubers? An example of a terrible VTuber agency, which probably everyone from the mother to an Ethiopian child with no internet access has heard of, is Ninji Sanji. Just hearing that name probably sent shivers through your testicles. Ninji Sanji, who have had a flame under their ass for the last few months now, and why? Well, unlike successful VTubers...
And once I get the monies for it, they're getting a uniform. I'm only getting a new uniform. Not uniform, really. It's more like it's going to be a little bit of both. It's a hoodie. It's another hoodie. Spoiler. But it's gonna be my uniform, and then they're gonna have they're gonna have their own new uniforms, and they're both gonna be getting 2 unique casual wear attires. So that's gonna be cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
VTuber agencies like HoloLive,
I am excited.
Girl, my dog died. Let's go!
very successful.
Freaking
They apparently don't know how to manage their
Bro, I
talent
need to.
well,
I have a
or treat
freaking
them like a
soundboard that I don't know why I'm
decent
not
human
using it.
being. So what happened? Basically, we had a
start using it more
VTuber by the
often.
name of Selen, and this is Selen, who had to revert back to her previous indie VTuber model, DokiBird. And in my opinion, it's an upgrade. But
It
before
is.
she
Not
reverted
an
back to
upgrade
being an indie
necessarily,
VTuber,
because she's still the same VTuber. She's awesome, amazing. But it is an upgrade in the sense that she no longer has to deal with all the BS from Niji Sanji.
she
and not about the
absolutely
recent-
dunked on her
the recent,
previous
like,
agency
stuff.
and exposed them
But
for what
they limited her talent in every step of the way. She wanted to make so much content and so much cool stuff, and they just kept stopping her from doing it.
a mounting flaming trash heap in the form of a sweatshop. It was basically a toxic workplace with harassment and bullying, to the point where the conditions were so deplorable and had such a severe effect on her mental health that she would try and harm herself and ended up in hospital. And on top of that, she went above and beyond for this company to entertain the fans. She would dip into her own pocket to pay for commissions for videos to entertain fans,
Yep.
which should have been a company expenditure, and made it so she made no profit whatsoever in 2023. But the equivalent of this situation is you went above and beyond for this company, only for them to bend you over a desk and conduct an unprompted colonoscopy. Because of the fact DokiBird was
Freaking
trying to
that's
publish
one way of
videos
putting
for
it.
her fans that she was paying for, the company would not only take those videos down when she uploaded them, and because she didn't get permission from her corporate overlords, they would get their favourite Winchester Model 21 shotgun, and without even informing her, take her VTuber round back.
Excuse me, this is a family-friendly YouTube channel, Christian channel. We call them a Brides of Christ launcher. Okay, we don't say those words. We don't say the GUN word. Okay, that's not okay on YouTube. We call it a Bride of Christ launcher.
And fill it full of buckshot. And she would wake up to her friends telling her that she had been
We call them pellets. We launch pellets at them. Okay.
graduated without her
Suppressors.
knowing.
We call them
No
pellet
prompt,
suppressors.
no email, no slap on the ass. She was donezo, and the company basically came out and said it was her own fault. She was breaking rules by trying to entertain her fans for the benefit of the audience and the company in general. But this
how
is
is it
where it
against the
gets
rules to
really
make content for
interesting
your fans,
and
bro?
quite
Like,
funny.
what?
When DokiBird reverted to DokiBird, and the internet heard about this terrible company that affected her mental health so much, they turned into absolute doomslayers,
Let's go.
taking an absolute big turd on the company. And
I
whilst
was a part of that. I freaking kept up with that the whole way, bro.
doing so, supporting
I'm so glad people
DokiBird
see
with
what
subscribers
the
and
true face of
donations on
Niji
her
Sanji
stream
now, and
to
any
the point
color.
where she was making a profit now. And this would lead that company to scramble for a response, to the point where they have to hijack one of their VTubers' streams.
Alira Pandora, you puppet, dude. You absolute puppet. Bro, DokiBird not only proved that Niji Sanji is a terrible company, but also showed that you can be way more successful as an indie. Like, you can make way more money as an indie. You really don't need the agency that much. HoloLive treats their look, from the looks of things, right? Who knows behind the scenes? But from the look of things, they look like they look more like they treat their talent with care and love. And so I can only imagine that's probably why so many VTubers stay with them as well.
And get some other fucking VTubers to apologize for them, basically saying it was all a misunderstanding. For some reason, it was formatted like a YouTuber apology. They had the black screen. Some of the VTubers forcibly emptying their lungs with sighs.
It's because they didn't want people to clip them apologizing. The one thing they don't want is for people to take the models and clip them making a sincere apology. Because I get, for some reason, Niji Sanji cares more about their image and the image to the boards and the directors and the stockholders. They care about the image not existing out there. You get what I'm saying? Because once you put a video, a clip of them apologizing for this, it could be edited, chopped up, and used in the future. So they wanted to avoid as much consequence as possible. You get me?
Don't know who I feel sorry for more. The people that had to watch it or the VTubers that got forced to do it. but they would essentially just say, not our fault. On a whole bunch of litigation regarding harassment and people's information being leaked would start heavily in Dokibird's favour, and what is
But
really...
that's the thing, they leaked a lot of information about Dokibird for no reason. They doxed her for no reason. Giving out her medical records, bro.
Funny Niji Sanji is telling people to stop selling their stocks in the company, because that ship dropped lower than my testicles in puberty. But one thing that really intrigued me about this, not the fact that VTuber agency is getting shut
until there's genuine change, I hope it keeps dropping.
But it's how much she's changed from being an agency VTuber to an indie VTuber. Even she notices she's allowed to even make negative comments now.
Wait, I can say it now. In Pokemon!
Yeah, she was not allowed to say Pokemon. That's wild. I remember watching the stream too, actually. This was so good. She literally had one of those epiphanies of like, I can say whatever I want now.
Sorry, my inner filter fucking kicked in.
But she's doing very well for herself, with an ever-evolving legal battle. But that is an example of a bad situation with a bad company that these idle VTubers have to endure. Now for the indie VTubers. Most indie VTubers behave kind of like the agency VTubers, as I've mentioned before, except for the fact they have a lot more freedom and can say what they want and do what they want, which has led to some VTubers being more NSFW. I'm talking full cock, full mahonga dongas. Some VTubers having wardrobe malfunctions, which you wouldn't expect an agency VTuber to have a nude avatar version of themselves, and sometimes they intentionally do it, like the VTuber Marina that misunderstood the TOS of Twitch update and did
To be fair, she did not misunderstand it. She followed it to the letter. It was Twitch who didn't specify. Let's be fair here. Let's not pretend like Twitch gave us a perfect clear-cut, like, oh, this is totally the rule. They made those rules incredibly, like, just, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, it was such an open-ended rule. They basically just said artistic nudity is allowed to defend bikini streamers. And then they immediately reverted the change. And it's like, yeah, well, what the frick? You freaking made a rule to defend the naked whammon, but if the naked whammon is an anime, suddenly you're not okay with it. I'm not saying you should be okay with it. I'm just saying that's what happened. Let's get the facts straight here.
You know, you're gonna get banned, right? She was mocking them and then got banned. Or another good example is Project Melody, who originally garnered popularity through her explicit personality, and the fact she was on Chatterbait with a remote control RCXD up her HDMI port, and every time someone donated or put some tokens in the chat, the genital blender would start, and, you know, you can probably guess what happened next. But she was probably one of the first VTubers to do this, and as I said, it got a lot of attention. She was discovering a whole new way of being a VTuber, but now she got signed with the VTuber agency VShoujo, and has significantly dialed it back, but she's still getting...
Wait, did she already get the new freaking...
As I said, it got a lot of attention. She was discovering a whole new way of being a VTuber. But now she got signed with the VTuber agency VShoujo, and has significantly dialed it back, but she's still getting blended every now and again. But overall...
Well, that's one I heard is actually a really good character. We just barely started playing Honkai again on stream.
Indie VTubers have it quite hard, and you basically have to stand out in a crowd just to get viewers. Some VTubers have done this by voicing their political opinions, almost, I say, virtue signaling, like the case with Aurora, where she was saying,
I virtue signal constantly. Indirectly, but I virtue signal constantly. Because, I mean, most of the stuff I react to is a bunch of, like, literally just douchey people being douches, and it's so easy to just, like, rag on a douche, because, like, I'm not doing douchey things, you know? So it's kind of like, yeah, just that guy's trash, terrible, look how bad they are. Someday I know it's gonna come back to bite me in the butt. Someday I'm gonna mess up big time or something, and as long as it's deserved, go for it. Rag on me.
Statements which most people agree with anyway, and somewhat fear-mongering. But indie VTubers definitely have it harder, in the way they have to gather their own audience. Whilst agency VTubers do kind of get that interest beforehand, but I do see why some indie VTubers would do this. It's really hard to make yourself stand out in a sea of anime girls. So some, not all of them, tend to the NSFW side or the...
Oh, but you have to understand something. Melody isn't just NSFW as a VTuber. She's NSFW IRL too. So it's just a different, like, she's a pretty unique VTuber for that.
Personalities like that anyway, and they have a lot more freedom to express themselves. But in terms of indie VTubers and agency VTubers, Both have their struggles, and both are quite neat. Even if one of the VTubers I can turn their genitals into mincemeat just by donating,
Well, it says Deso.
that is
I got the
unfortunately
notification
still
too, actually.
entertainment. And there's
It's on
always
my
one
phone.
VTuber does not define what all VTubers are like,
What is he talking
or
about
what
today?
one VTuber agency is like for the rest. But I can
Oh,
see how
really? You
people
started watching Rev because of me? I'm glad to hear, my dude. That's
view
awesome.
indie
See,
VTubers
one of
and
the
agency
great
VTubers.
things about this is that I can introduce people to amazing YouTubers too. Like I wouldn't know about this, dude. There's a lot of YouTubers I wouldn't know about if it wasn't for people in my chat telling me too. Like Abba and Preach, I didn't know about them until somebody told me to react to them.
as entertaining, from things they can do to their VTuber model that most Twitch streamers won't even get out of their chair for, or just creating concerts.
110%. Fuwamoka Mornings is the reason why I named this Monkey Mornings. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. 100%.
And small events for their fans, or introducing a new model to their community, or doing whatever
Toes! We
Fillion
got
is doing,
toes, boys!
which is causing internal brain damage every day, I think.
I
But
love
that's
Fillion.
basically
He's
what a
great.
VTuber is, and the potential problems they face. That's it. Bye-bye.
I actually met. Whoops, chill. I actually found Fillion because of the guy that like
So if you don't know what a VTuber
is
is,
on VR chat as Ugandan Knuckles. When she told him meta mis huevos en tu boca. Freaking love that shit. Thank you so much, Primates, for watching this all the way to the end. Also, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as hit the little bell for a rainbow explosion that will go ahead and notify you every single time we go live or put out new content. Thank you so much, goodbye, and thanks for swinging by.